Well, hello and welcome to KuroiTV as I continue my free guide on how to make gold in World of Warcraft. In this episode, I'll be addressing the topic of getting started. This is aimed more towards new players, either new to World of Warcraft or on a new server. These are some tips that you can use to help make more gold at lower levels. I leveled this character to a little under level 8, only collected the items that I naturally did from questing. I did pick up herbalism at level 6, but I did not go out of my way to farm any herbs or anything like that. I ended up running to Darnassus with a little under 18 silver in my pockets and 24 linen, 23 herbs, 2 copper ore, and 4 small eggs. And I put those all up on the auction house to sell. Those items are all, obviously very low level items, but heavily used for people power leveling first aid or tailoring, and alchemy, inscription for the herbs, and then the whole blacksmithing, engineering, jewel crafting, and even mining. Now you can smelt copper for points at lower levels, which also really helps to power level that profession, because it was a bit of a pain to level that when you had to mine all the time. So I listed all those. One tip for herbs, I like to use at least at level or low levels. I usually do it throughout up until the end level herbs. I always try to list them in groupings of 5, because at low levels, leveling alchemy or inscription, you're usually looking for denominations of 5. So if someone needs 5 more points to open up a new item to craft, that'll be a orange level to them. If they open the auction house and they see 1 stack of 5, it's a lot better than having to buy 20 and then having leftovers, or instead of having to click and buy 5 individually. It's a little bit better marketing packaging in that sense. So I am running over to the enchanting trainer now that I asked earlier about, and with all enchanting trainers there is an enchanting supplier who sells a limited quantity of strange dust and lesser magic essence, 4 and 2 at most respectively. And I turned around and ran to the auction house, and then I listed those individually, and the going rate at this time was a little under 50 silver. Primarily I was selling all these strange dust individually for anywhere between 40 and 46 silver throughout the course of this video. On my home server it's actually a little bit more. It oscillates quite a bit, but listing them individually does sell, especially if people only need 1 or 2 because they're short like 1 point. There's no sense in buying a whole stack of 20. So enchanting mats I really like to use for making gold, because not only are they highly sought after pretty much throughout the game, not only leveling, enchanting, but certain enchants can only be used at certain levels, so you still need the materials for some of the lower level enchants, but they don't have any deposit cost, which is one of the big things I look for in making gold at lower levels. Things that aren't going to cost you money up front to list, which means you can actually sell more at lower levels, and also you're not going to lose money if your auction doesn't sell. So I look for that a lot, and if I don't look for that, I try to make sure I'm selling something that either is going to net a large profit or is pretty much guaranteed to sell, as you'll see in the next video. But I bought all this, ended up getting almost 11 gold, at which point I made 3 new characters. Didn't level them at all, just ran them to Ironforge, Stormwind, and Exodar at level 1. I found the enchanting trainer, or more specifically the enchanting supplier, bought some strange dust and lesser magic essence in each of the cities with the startup gold. Then I listed all those, so each character was pretty much selling between 2 and 4 strange dust at least per time I checked in. So this is something you can do like before work or school, after work and school, and then like before you go to sleep. It doesn't really take that long to do, maybe a few minutes just hopping around. It takes longer to run to the auction house and supplier than anything else really. And then if you wanted to actually kind of maximize your profits, you could be doing this while you were questing, while you were farming, kind of while you're making the gold a little bit more manually. So this is a great thing to kind of do while you sleep and whatnot. So you might be asking though, how can I level my enchanting if I'm selling all the materials, or my first aid if I'm selling all the linen, etc., etc., etc. And I mean, the answer is you don't. At this point, if you want to make gold, just focus on making the gold. You can level your professions later. You know, it's not that you need a ton of gold, but it is easier to make gold with more gold. So especially when you're starting your bankroll, kind of fight the urge to level first aid, sell the linen as you get it. Later on, once you have a couple hundred gold, you know, 1 gold for a stack isn't that much. But starting out, 1 gold for a stack when you only have 2 silver is quite a bit. Alright, so here I am in Stormwind on one of my alts. See, I found Little Timmy, and he's actually a rare spawn. I had just made a macro for him, but wasn't actually camping his spot. He spawns just west of the cathedral, does a clockwise loop around the canal area, around the water. He will sell 1 rare cat carrier with the white kitten. Especially with his achievements for these pets, it's selling for a lot more now. I sold this for just shy of 190 gold. However, I did see a lot of them listed for a lot more throughout the week that I was on the server. So you can sell more if you are patient. Potentially, I mean, technically I don't know if they sold, but they were listed that much. So if you want to see how I turn the rest of this into over 2,000 gold in just 7 days, feel free to watch my other video. It should be linked now. And until next time, good luck and have fun.